Hey, welcome to my channel. My name's Brandy. If you're following me from my other videos, this one's going to be a little bit different, if you could have guessed by the title. Today we're going to do what I read in January. I've always been really interested in doing booktube. I think it's really cool. I'm trying to expand my genres. I feel like I read a lot of young adult contemporary, so I am trying to break that boundary and overcome that or step that, whatever you want to call it. So I've been loosely following along with a year-a-thon. For January, it is the underrated non-hyped books. So I'm going to take that as like being on my TBR for the longest and nobody's talking about them anymore. They picked a couple weeks out of the month to read a topic of books. And I decided to make it kind of like a month-long thing because one, I have a lot of books I need to go through, and two, I don't honestly read that many books in a week, so this was a good wide variety for me. First up, in January, I read One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McInnes. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to butcher all of their names, so please don't hate me. I'm sorry. This book is about 5 kids get sent to detention, and only 4 of them walk out. They have to figure out whom may have killed the 5th student. It's a multi-character book. You get an inside view of each character's thoughts during specific time frames or specific points during the ongoing investigation. This book for me, yes, of course, is a YA contemporary. Love it. But this was just a little rough. It felt like too much teenage drama. It felt something wasn't just clicking with it. Something I I didn't want to read a lot of it. Like, there was a big part in the middle of the book that I just kind of wanted to just skip ahead. It's just where all the bullshit drama was happening that was like not furthering the story, just kind of living their life. Like, I wanted to get to the point to figure out what happened, how this kid had died, and who had killed him. It wasn't bad. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodread, and with my craw pile from G from Book Roast, which I'll link the video down below if you guys want to look into it. My craw pile score for it was 7.86 out of like a 10. I will be reading the next one just to see where the story goes. So my next book on the list was Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Pfeiffer. Again, sorry if I've mispronounced that. Okay, so this fucking book. Let me just put my arms down. This book for me probably would have been my 5-star. I loved this book so much. It is about a dystopian post-apocalyptic kind of thing. An asteroid hits the moon and pushes it a little closer to Earth, bringing obviously fucking chaos to the world because the moon controls so much more than people want to believe. I'm not going to get into it. Not the kind of video. So it's a journal-styled book, and I thought I could be okay with it. I absolutely hate it. If it was not journal-styled, I definitely would have rated it 5 stars. I hate conversations in journal-styled because you're not gonna, like, if I'm mad at my mother, like she's a 16-year-old girl. She's very mad at her mother 90% of the time. I get it. I've been there, done it. She goes to her room and writes down line per line conversation. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's possible. But whatever, some people might be able to do it. I could not. You're just going to be like, oh, mom and I got into a fight today. That's it. So things that I did love about it, I would literally be like, oh my gosh, why am I not preparing for the end of the world? Like, I need to get stockpiled on stuff I need to save for food. Maybe it's because of the virus that's going on right now. But I just was so in my head about this. I felt like I needed to hoard everything. I felt like I need to rush to the store and buy all canned goods, everything. So this definitely got into my head so much more than I thought it would. I definitely felt like the characters weren't as explored as I wish that they would have been, but again, it is journal styled, so it's bound to happen. I mean, you're only getting one person's perspective. I did look into the next book because I'm gonna read it, like I want to. So this book follows Miranda, and I did look into the second book, and it follows a different character, and I hate when authors do that. It drives me insane. So I looked into the third book, and it follows back with Miranda. And I'm worried that if I just skip the second book, I'm going to miss something for the third book. So I'll probably have to end up reading it. I will let you guys know if I get that far. There was many times I felt like I wanted to DNF it. There was many times where I was glued. Once I got to like around here, I could not put it down. Like, I literally stayed up way too late reading it. It was a 4 out of 5 for me, only because of the journal style. And on Craw Pile, I gave it a 7.43 out of 10. So yeah, we'll stick around and see what happens with this book. So the third book I read this month was The City of Ember by Jean Duprel. So surprisingly, I say this because if you know me at all, I hate book to movie adaptations for the life of me. But I did watch this movie first when it first came out, and I fell in love with it. I loved the idea of this. This was just fascinating to me. I always wanted to read it, but I just kept putting it off and off and off. One, because it's a middle grade book, so that kind of deterred me a little bit. I felt like this was the perfect time to be able to check this off my TBR because it has been on there for quite some time now. But I will say some things I didn't like about this is I find it really hard to believe that 12-year-olds are going around doing this. If they were 16, 17, this probably would have got a higher score for that on my crop pile. Some parts were just like, get on to it, let's go. But if this would have been a YA book, I think it could have done phenomenally. So I did give this, again, 4 out of 5 stars. And on my crawl pile, it is a 7.43 out of 10. I'm not sure if I want to read the next ones. We'll keep that on the back burner just in case I get bored one day. So the next book I read, Shadowhunters and Downworlders by Cassandra Clare and various authors, was a DNF. I absolutely love the Shadowhunter series. That is my life. I love it so much. So I thought this book was going to be about like something hidden or a side story or just more in depth to the story, but this book just seemed to be about a bunch of authors reading their parts or like describing the characters the way that they saw them and what they liked about them. So I did DNF this after a couple chapters. I wasn't into it, so no real rating for that, but if you're into it, check it out. Maybe you'll like it more than I did. So next I read Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. So this was a good book. It held my attention. I do want to know what's going on, but I did do audiobook. I didn't like that style. It's a post-apocalyptic world where there are some humans that do have superpowers, it sounds like. She'll write something in her notebook, and if she doesn't like it, then she will cross it off. I'm assuming, because I don't have the book copy, that was annoying to listen to. So that part I wasn't a fan of. But other than that, there's not much I could really say. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And on Crowpile, I gave it a 7.71. I'm interested to see where the story goes. I would like to read the rest. I want to find out what happens. I might have to do it in paperback form. I'm not sure. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. So the next book, I'm embarrassed to say this because I have so much fandom for this. I am in love with the lore, the details, the whole story, everything about it, but I have never read it and I've only seen the movies. It is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. It was cute. I love this. I was very unaware that it was a YA book. I did not know that. That surprised me. And of course, after reading this, I did have to watch the movies. It's definitely one of my favorites. I got the special edition from Barnes & Nobles, but I'm in love with it, and now I'm on a binge. Like, I need to read all of the Lord of the Rings. This is just a classic book. You can't go wrong with it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Of course, there were a couple things that I wish were a little bit different, but hey, it happens. But on Crowpile, I gave it a 8.86 out of 10. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. I will probably reread this again over and over. And the last book I read in January was Unravel Me by Tahira Mafi. I know I just said I would read them in paperback, but I couldn't wait. I wanted to find out more. And honestly, I was a little bit more disappointed in this one. I don't know what it is. I just don't think this book is for me. Or the series, I should say, isn't for me. I'm trying to like it. I'm trying to read it. I will probably try to read the third book. There's just something in there that I'm just not clicking with. There's a lot going on that intrigues me. I do want to know more. I do want to find out. That is what makes me want to read the third book. I will have to wait and see. I do have it on script right now. Or is it on script? So Fracture Me and Ignite Me are both on script right now, or at least they're going to be coming to script. So I might stick around for that and try it out that way. That way I'm not buying it. That way I'm not wasting money if I don't like it, if I do have to DNF it. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. No shock there. It's going to be an interesting year to see if I get a 5-star read. It's been a while, I feel like. On Crowpile, I did give it a 7.43 out of 10. That's everything I've read in January. For February, it will be a new to me author. I'm excited to read that. I do have a couple books in mind, so I will let you guys know in the next video what they are. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you around next time. Stop touching her hair. Fuck. Ugh. Ooh, what was January's prompts? Because I don't remember. Why am I so bad at this? Well, I have to wait for you to leave anyways. You're gonna cause a lot of noise.
God dang, that is.
Yep.
No wonder you keep glancing the corner of your eye.
Yep.
Fuck, I would too. Ooh, that's hefty on the eyeballs.
Yep. Fuck, I forgot how to say her name. Hold on, I'm looking up her name. 1 second.